The situation is getting critical in Chicago. A coach just compared our draft gem to a divisional star, while internal leaks reveal that management is snubbing a legendary running back. Plus, there are 4 options that could change the future of our offense immediately. This information won't last long in the inner circles. If you are a true Bears fan, you need to know these exclusives right now, because the season could be defined in the next 48 hours. Don't miss a second. And subscribe now to receive these emergency alerts first. Did you know that our new coach, Ben Johnson, just dropped a bombshell by comparing Colston Loveland to Sam Laporta? Well, let me tell you this. When a coach with Johnson's offensive track record makes this comparison, we need to pay attention. And not just a little, but completely. Ben Johnson came to Chicago with a spotless reputation after his work in Detroit, where he turned Sam Laporta into an all-pro professional in his rookie season. It's no coincidence that he's now so excited about our first-round pick, Colston Loveland. The comparisons are undeniable and extremely meaningful. I see a lot of similarities with Laporta, and not just on the field, but off as well, Johnson said recently. With Laporta, the stage was never too big or too bright. I felt that same thing with Colston the first time I met him. He doesn't blink. He performs at a high level. What does this mean for our attack? Let me ask you this. Can you imagine the arsenal Caleb Williams will have? I think we're possibly building the best group of young receivers in the entire NFL. Think about it. DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden III, Cole Kmet, and now Loveland. The talent we have is insane. What's most impressive is that Loveland isn't backing down from this comparison. The kid has unshakable confidence, saying, "This past year, I feel like I took a big step. Just the little details that create big separation." I watched a lot of Nico Collins. Obviously, he's a bigger-bodied receiver. I think I can take a lot of tools from his kit. Sam Laporta. I'm a big fan of watching him play. Similar guys that move like me. Johnson has already shown in Detroit that he can turn a talented tight end into a key piece of the attack. With Detroit, only 2 teams used more 2 tight end formations last season. This suggests Johnson is planning a significant role for both Kmet and Loveland. And I tell you this, adding Loveland could be exactly what Caleb Williams needs to take the next step in his development. Remember how Laporta helped elevate Jared Goff's game to the point of being in the MVP conversation? I believe we could be seeing something similar with Williams and Loveland. This could be the move that finally unlocks all the potential of our franchise quarterback. Did you think Nick Chubb was the main target to bolster our running back position? Well, I have to tell you that a respected insider just debunked that theory, and the alternative is absolutely fascinating. Brad Biggs from the Chicago Tribune, one of the journalists most connected with the team, just poured cold water on the rumors of Nick Chubb to Chicago. And his reasons make a lot of sense, even if they hurt fans dreaming of seeing Chubb in the blue and orange. I'd be cautious about his physical condition, Biggs noted about Chubb. He turns 30 in December and has been a high-volume player, with 1,340 carries in the NFL. His best days are behind him. But here's the most interesting part. Instead of Chubb, Biggs suggests that the Bears should consider J.K. Dobbins, formerly of the Los Angeles Chargers. And let me ask you this, isn't this a much more sensible option? I think absolutely. Biggs pointed out that Dobbins has fewer injury concerns than Chubb, highlighting that he played in 13 games for the Chargers last season and carried the IE ball 195 times for 905 yards, averaging 4.6 with 9 touchdowns. He's also more versatile coming out of the backfield than Chubb. However, Biggs also mentioned something crucial. I don't think there's a reason to act now knowing more backs will be available. And I tell you this, patience could be key here. Ryan Poles has proven to be a shrewd negotiator, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. What's clear is that a solid running game would significantly relieve the pressure on Caleb Williams' shoulders. After an uneven rookie season, but with flashes of the talent that made him the #1 overall pick, Williams needs all possible weapons. With more help now available at the receiver position and on the offensive line, and with Ben Johnson implementing a renewed offensive approach, the hope is that Williams and the Bears can take the next step in 2025 and make the NFL playoffs. adding a good running back in the free agent market would certainly help them achieve that goal. And I ask you, shouldn't we trust Biggs when he suggests that Dobbins could be the man? I think this insider rarely misses with his predictions. Are you ready for the bombshell? The Chicago Bears entered the 2025 NFL Draft as a team that most analysts assumed would spend an early round pick on a running back. They were even linked to Ashton Jeanty and Omarion Hampton as potential first-round targets. But things didn't play out that way over draft weekend, and instead, the Bears waited until the 7th round to add a running back to the roster, Rutgers star Kyle Monangai. And while Monangai is an interesting prospect, who will have the opportunity to claim a weekly role in the offense, Chicago might decide to add another veteran to the roster to round out the running back room. DeAndre Swift is the current starter, and third-year pro Roshan Johnson shapes up as the in-between tackles runner. But Johnson's history of concussions and average performance over 2 seasons, combined with Swift's disappointing debut season as the Bears' RB1, suggest that exploring a veteran free agent is worthwhile. Here are 4 veteran running backs without a contract that Ryan Poles should consider adding to the roster. And I ask you, which one do you think is the best option? I think there is a clear favorite here. First, Nick Chub. He's been linked to the Bears ever since the close of the 2025 draft. Maybe it's because he's posted some viral training videos, with hints suggesting he'd like to be a Bear. There's also the standard speculation from local sports programs fanning the flames of rumor. Regardless, Chub would make a lot of sense. For a Bears team that needs a quality between the tackles runner who can handle a load of 10 to 12 carries per game. At one point in his career, Chub was considered the best running back in the NFL. Injuries have cost him that title, but even if he's at 75% of what he once was, he'd be an upgrade over Swift and Johnson. Second, Jamal Williams. He was a star for Ben Johnson and the Detroit Lions in 2022 when he rushed for a career-high 1,066 yards and an NFL best 17 touchdowns. This resulted in a solid free agent contract in 2023 with the New Orleans Saints, after which he's rushed for just 470 yards and 2 touchdowns over the last 2 combined seasons. Is Williams an obvious upgrade? Over a player like Roshan Johnson, it's debatable. But is he a guy who knows what Johnson wants from his running backs? Absolutely. Whether the Bears have any interest in Williams will depend on whether Johnson really believes in his talent. And if he does, a cheap 1-year contract for a proven NFC North back would make sense. Third, J.K. Dobbins. He's a classic case of what could have been an incredibly talented back who's been cursed by several major injuries in his career. The former second-round pick from Ohio State finally had a relatively healthy 2024 season. He played in 13 games and finished with 905 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns. He averaged 4.6 yards per carry, and at 26 years old, he's the only player on this list who could offer multi-year value to the Bears. He would be a low-risk, high-reward addition, providing a 3-down skill set for Johnson to work. If healthy, he's an obvious upgrade over Swift and fourth, Gus Edwards. A backfield partner of Dobbins with the Chargers last season, Edwards shapes up as an ideal short yardage option for the Bears in 2024. Like Dobbins, injuries are a major question mark for Edwards, who appeared in only 11 games last season. His production dropped. He rushed for just 365 yards and 4 touchdowns. But as a power back to change the pace, the Bears could do much worse. I tell you this, adding any of these backs would be a smart move by Ryan Poles. Our running back room is in desperate need of a boost. And any of these veterans would provide that physical element that's been missing in our offense. But I ask you, which would you choose? I think Dobbins offers the best balance between potential and risk, especially considering his age and versatile skills. And what do you think? Does Colston Loveland really have the potential to be our Sam Laporta and revolutionize our offense? Should we go after J.K. Dobbins as Brad Biggs suggests, or would you prefer to see Nick Chubb in a Bears uniform? Which of the 4 available backs would be your ideal choice to complement Caleb Williams? This is the moment to make your voice heard. Leave your opinions in the comments and let's discuss the future of our franchise together. If you value this in-depth analysis and want to keep receiving the most exclusive Chicago Bears news before anyone else, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Remember that in this community, we're not just fans, we're a family sharing the same passion for the Bears. Your support is what allows us to keep bringing this exclusive content day after day. Share this video with other members of Bears Nation, and we'll see you in the next analysis.